fractional reserve banking and all these kind of things, like the actual systems itself. And like, again, I think the school system is fundamentally broken. Everything that I learned in school, back to the calculator thing, how many times have you used what you learned in school? They rammed down, oh, you're going to need algebra. You know, when has anyone used algebra in real life situations?
Well, in their defense, I think the whole ideology of, because like if you want to be a lawyer, you have to take intensive math classes. And I think what that's teaching you is it's testing and teaching you problem solving abilities. So it's not specifically like about, when it comes to that type of math, I don't think it's especially like geometry. It's more about problem solving rather than like specifically like doing the problems. But what makes me mad about that is like that was never the answer when we asked our teachers. It was always, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket.
Yeah.
So like if they would have said that to us more often, I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes more sense, because like, you know, as a lawyer or a doctor, you're going to have to think quick and solve these problems. And math is a great representation. And also math is, besides coding, I think math is like the only universal language in the world, you know? So I think that makes more sense. But yeah, I think it's just that communication barrier. And I think the teachers didn't even realize that's that reason that they're teaching math. They're just following the curriculum, you know?
That's the thing. They literally just follow what's been given to them. And like a lot of the business teachers that I had never really, I don't think any of them had a successful business, like actually ran an actual business. And that's the thing. We have a lot of people teaching stuff which they're qualified to do in the sense of, you know, getting grades, etc. But it comes down to like real life experiences that is the best teacher of anything. Like going through a mortgage. I didn't know anything about getting a mortgage. I didn't know anything about how to even purchase a house. What is, you know, surveying? What do financial advisors do? How do you even get them? Like how does it work?
Right.
Like you're not told any of that at all. Same with credit cards. You're not taught how to utilize credit cards. At least in the business classes that I had anyway, you weren't really taught how to leverage good credit. You know, there's good credit, bad credit, etc. And those kind of things. Even like in business classes, how to start up a limited company, going to company's house, registering X, Y, and Z, being a shareholder. Some of that stuff was in there. It was just out of books, but it was never really, you never really prepared for what's to come in the real world from school.
Yeah.
You know, you learn your social skills, how to make friends, you know, how to hit deadlines. But in terms of the real life key skills that you need, yeah, I think they're really missing from the school curriculum.
Yeah, everywhere. And it just seems to be that is what whoever they are, they want, you know? It's like you go to school to become a slave either to the banks, a slave either to the workforce, a slave either to the companies, a slave to debt. That's the big one. Because if they taught you financial literacy, a lot of people wouldn't be in debt.
Exactly.
And that's what they want. So like, who's really controlling it? The banks. Usually it's the banks controlling. Like, I feel like the financial institutions have their hand deeply in the government, and the government decides the curriculum. And if they don't want it in there, it's not going to be in there, and just trickles down like that.
It's all run by corporations, because if you have a look, it's like the people who are elected are funded. And where are they funded? Where does that money come from? The corporations, right? So the corporations are paying for the politicians to be, for the campaigners, essentially. So it's like, I can't remember where I was listening to this, but it's like, you know, if you run a business and you have an employee, you want an employee who's going to, you know, be a yes person, essentially. You don't want someone who's going to continually keep saying, no, we don't want to do it that way, or don't do it this way, or what happens if you do it this way, X, Y, etc., etc. If you're running a business, right? And it's the same kind of thing. So, you know, if they have certain set agendas that they want, they're not going to put in people who are just going to be challenging them on every single time.
Right.
It's influence, it's power. So rather than trying to get someone who's trying to change things, why not just getting a yes man who's going to push through everything that we want to get pushed through? Because at the end of the day, it's all power and influence.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's that's just how it is, and you are pretty much prepped to be. Because even in university, I went to university and I got a degree in business and management, and even that was like prepping you to be a middle manager in a large corporation. That was pretty much it. So yeah, I think the school system's broken, and I think one of the bad things that needs to be changed as well is that people are in school systems as well, is that we are we are graded by one rule. You know what I mean by that is like if you're a monkey and you are graded on how well you are to swim,
Right.
you're not going to be as good as the fish, right?
Right.
And everyone has a genius inside them. And I think the school system doesn't bring out enough of people's inner geniuses. They're just marked by one thing. Do you get an A? Yes. Okay, cool. You're in a top category. Did you
Yeah.
get a C? Okay, you're in this category. You know, and then people think they're stupid because they didn't get that so-called quote unquote A. So yeah, I think there's big reform, and that's something that I want to try and change. You know, when there's multiple millions.
I wonder if like it would even be possible with how much power you'd have to go up against in order to do that, because it's like I really would like to know the back end of all this, like to see, like to go up the ladder and see like who is making this, like why are they making this in the curriculum, okay, who's making that, okay, who's influencing that person to make
Yeah.
that, and all of that. And I didn't know you